Hello there. Welcome to my off-schedule stream. And without further ado, because I want to introduce my first sister. This is Megster. We're gonna call her Megster. She's my bestie. We love her. And yeah, we're calling it the first sister stream.
There.
Oh my gosh, I did the thing.
Welcome to.
I did the thing where I had my stream up so you could hear me twice, which is fine. Hiya, Kritter J. Thank you for saying hi. Um, so yeah, let's get some introductions out of the way, shall we? This is Meg. She is my sister, and she has not read the Wheel of Time books, but she did watch the Wheel of Time show. So, cheers, Sandan Gluctus Teeth, Hybrid Havoc, welcome to the chat. Hello, you beautiful people, Loial's Library. Thank you guys in the chat. It's so good to see you. I've got like a series of questions that I plan to ask my sister about like her experience with the Wheel of Time and, what she liked, what she didn't like. Just general stuff. But as just to begin, why don't you introduce yourself in whatever way you want to introduce yourself, Meg?
Oh, okay. Well, I am Megster. I am a first-time Wheel of Timer, and so I'm really excited to talk about my experience watching the show as a non-reader and just how I felt about it. I have to forewarn everyone that I will probably forget many names and many locations, but
Very common.
I loved it. So there we are.
There we are. Okay, so how about as a little icebreaker, let's go over what you would say your ajah is, shall we? And I assume you
Okay,
need
yeah.
a little like primer because we haven't even really
I do.
seen all of the ajahs in the show. But uh, Fizzlegig says you're just replaying a previously recorded video of you back in 2002. That's you caught me. You're right. And thank you, Sharon. We are told a lot that we look so much alike, so that comment is welcome and familiar. Okay, so let's go over Meg's Aja. So you've seen the blues. They're in the show. That's Moiraine.
Yeah.
That's the official name of the stream, First Sisters. I'd say so. I know the one that I put like into Streamlabs is really long, and I apologize for that. I hope it came across that way. But yeah, we're calling it the First Sister stream for now. All right. So, the Blue Ajah, they are the pursuers of causes. They're the most random, I think. Because they all kind of have their own agenda. Like, whatever you deem your cause in life, if you're super passionate about it, then you're going to be a Blue. So, Moraine's cause is find the Dragon Reborn and defeat the Dark One, Um, and and so those are the Blues. So if you have something you feel really, really passionately about and want to pursue, like dedicate your whole life to it, you'd be a Blue. And Fizzlegig, we're the only sisters, so we don't have a third sister waiting in the wings, like mad that she wasn't invited. So don't worry about that. Sorry, I'll pin this comment actually, so you guys can see it. But all right, hopefully, yeah, that worked. All right, so then we've got the Gray Ajah, which is, I think, the most similar to the Blue. They're the negotiators. They often are like they broker treaties between nations, and often they advise royal people. So they might be like the person behind a queen helping them make decisions. And then we've got the Browns. They're like the bookworms. They love studying. They love learning things, learning new things, doing research, whatever. They're often found with ink smudges on their noses, and they're sort of spacey because they're not always paying attention to the actual world around them. Yellows are the healing Ajah, so you saw them in the show too. Whenever Perrin got hurt, he was in like a yellow Ajah place while they were like healing him. They dedicate their lives to like finding the best remedies for stuff and finding the best way to heal people with their powers. And let's see what else. The Reds are dedicated to controlling people who abuse the one power, mainly men, because men using the one power, the one power is corrupted and they'll eventually go crazy, which is bad. And oh my gosh, greens. The greens are the battle Ajah. You saw them. You saw
Yeah.
them. And then the whites are logicians. So they're all about like logic and they're kind of like the Browns in the way that I feel like they're sort of philosophy adjacent, but I'm quite certain you're not going to pick the white, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, so I think that's the spoil level my first sister is comfortable with. We're going full show spoilers. I don't think she's looking at the chat, but I don't know what everyone in the chat is spoiler-wise, so be gentle. Let's focus on show spoilers, not book spoilers, please. Thank you for that. So those are it, unless I forgot one. I'm pretty sure I got blue, red, yellow, gray, brown, green, and white. So yeah, that's 7. Okay, so what would you say?
Man, I feel like I kind of off of what I saw on the show, and so I feel like the ones I relate the most to are probably like between blue and green.
Okay.
But I think I'd have to go with blue just because I feel like once I get my mind set on something, I'm just all about it. I really want to make it happen. So I have a goal and I want to do it.
I love that. I'm blue too. Look at that. I didn't tell you. And we match anyways. Hello, everyone in the chat. Roger Duran, welcome in. Yeah, there are no other ajahs. There's only 7, okay? So that's what we're talking about. Fizzlegig says green is the best. Well, it's respectfully disagreed. I'm a fan of blue. So yeah, that's our little icebreaker. So let's go into our first main question. Why did you start watching The Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime?
You.
What?
Because you were really passionate about it and super excited and got very involved and was always talking about all the things that you had going on and how much you were looking forward to it. So I feel like just by listening to your excitement about it and having seen you read those books whenever you were a kid, like all the time, and always wanting those books. So
you remember that?
Good. I do. I remember you were always asking for the books like that you didn't have for Christmas or whatever it was. So you were all about it. And I feel like just knowing that I still love it, I wanted to see what it was all about.
I do. It's my favorite book series of all time. A Hybrid Havoc, it's propaganda. Stop. Like there is no such thing. Okay. Sorry. There's a bunch of silly people in the chat. But that's so funny. So if any of you ever doubted my legitimacy, you heard it here first. I was asking for the books as a kid for Christmas. So yeah. I've been a big fan a long time. Sister peer pressure, no way, says Jay Diggity. Yes. In fact, that's exactly what happened apparently, which is fine because you ended up liking it.
Yes, I really liked it a lot. I thought it was very intriguing and exciting, and there were things that were unexpected that occurred that I thought were, kept you reeled in and excited about it, and you didn't really know what was coming next. So there were lots of relationships that I wanted to see how they developed. And
what was your favorite relationship? What was your favorite relationship?
Ooh, golly. I honestly, I really enjoyed the relationship between Rain and Lan. That was a very interesting dynamic. I guess I don't know if I should call it a relationship, but it's a working relationship, I feel like. So
yeah.
I thought it was a very interesting how they interacted. And I wanted to see exactly what that was, because again, I didn't have any context to go from. So when I first started watching the first few scenes with those two, I was like, okay, maybe they're intimate. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But
they're in a bathtub together. What are we talking about?
Exactly. So I thought it was fun to see how that played out and how they kind of spun off on different relationships, but they still worked together. And I thought it was intriguing.
Yeah, I really like those two characters. And in the books, I liked them, but they weren't anywhere near my favorites. They were great characters, but they just didn't interest me as much as some of the others. But I feel like in the show, they're so much more engaging because they make them seem more like real people. In the books, they're often hard to read because it's not their POV that you're getting. It's Rand looking at Moiraine and Moiraine not giving him anything, And so you don't know what she's thinking. She's just mysterious. Whereas in the show, she's one of the main characters and you're getting a lot of her perspective. So I think that's fun. I've got a question in the chat from Random Noman. Is Megster a reader outside of the Wheel of Time?
I'm so embarrassed. I wish I was, but I'm not. Oh yeah, I need to be though. needs to
Nah.
happen at one point in my life, and I've said that my whole life, and it's still not happened. So.
I was gonna say her intentions are pure. She literally during the pandemic was like, "I'm gonna read the Lord of the Rings," and so I had duplicate copies, and I sent her a full set. Like I think I sent you Hobbit and the trilogy, and
Sure
you're
did.
still working on the Hobbit, right?
I'm in the middle of the Hobbit. Yep.
Hey, she's gotten to the
Our
middle,
last
so
year.
bless her heart, she's working on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's me. I am guilty of the same thing with Harry Potter. I got to the fifth book, and man, I hated that fifth book, so I just stopped in the middle of it for like 2 years, and then I finally got through them.
Oh, so you read all of
That's
Harry
me.
Potter? I don't think I knew
I
that.
did. I got through the whole series. Yep, I'm proud of myself. It happened once.
Okay. We've got Fizzlegig actually has a nice little comment. Even though you didn't read the books, we love non-reader reactions, so everyone's happy
Aw.
that you're here. So don't
Well,
feel
thank
bad.
you.
Don't feel bad.
Sorry about butchering any names.
All right, so I guess we kind of got into why you liked it, but is there anything else like kind of at the front of the stream that you want to point out as like some of your favorite elements of the show?
Oh my gosh. I think I just really enjoyed how, like, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings movie fan, obviously, because I haven't got through the books, but like, I'm so intrigued by the scenery, by the locations, by the real people, but the magical feel too, like the fantasy idea of it. And so I feel like this is a great combination of all of those things. It's in a beautiful setting. There's real people that are just seemingly normal people, and then they have these towers that pop out. And I think that's really fun to see what surprises come around the bend. So I do love that.
Nice. So you like to see like I guess there's not a ton of things. Well, you watched Harry Potter growing up, so you've seen
Yeah.
magic, with wands.
Yeah.
But did you like how the magic looked in this?
I did. I thought it was beautiful how it was portrayed and how just light was getting drawn and into their hands. Like it was almost like I feel like in some ways it seemed like a Spider-Man-esque, like here's my web, but it's actually light being drawn into my palm. Like I don't know. I thought it was cool how they could, I don't know, do it without a wand, but with their hands and their palms and
I like that.
neat. I like that.
Spider-Man-esque. I have not heard anyone make that comparison, so I appreciate it. Um, okay, so let's see. How would you describe The Wheel of Time to someone like you who's never read it before and you're trying to get them to watch the show?
I mean, I feel like something that I can relate to, and I've watched a trillion, billion, million times, is The Rings, which I've already mentioned. I feel like it's got a lot of similar elements, but it's kind of a Lord of the Rings idea with like woman power. And I think that that's really awesome. I love that. And I feel like it's a different spin that we don't get a lot of times. And so I feel like it's something that can draw people in because it's different from what a lot of people see before. And there's all sorts of, like I said, different relationships, and it's romantic, but it's violent and it's magic, and there's so many different elements that I feel like can draw a lot of different people in.
Yes, I love that. See, and the thing is like Lord of the Rings for me is. Would you say Lord of the Rings the movies are your favorites of all time?
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Uh-huh.
same. So
Yeah.
you and me, we're similar in a lot of ways. And so same for me. Lord of the Rings is my favorite movies. Like they make me laugh, they make me cry. Like I consider them all one movie, just because every time I watch them all in a
Oh yeah.
marathon in one day, extended edition, obviously. And
Yeah.
so my one gripe with the books and the movie is that there are women, but there are no women main characters, and it's like,
Mhm.
you love to see like Eowyn, she's amazing, and her moment in the movie is just like yes, but that's it, and then she's kind of done, and then she gets married in the extended editions, whatever. But like in Wheel of Time, half the main characters, if not more, are women, and they're all amazing, or like complicated or whatever. Like there are some bad guy women. It's just I think part of what drew me in as a kid was that I got to read something that was fantasy, which I loved, with the settings and the world building and the magic. But then there were also people that I could more relate to more easily because they were women like I was. So, oh, thank you, Roger Duran. Like the smash button and subscribe, or smash the like button and subscribe. Either way, I appreciate it. So yeah, Fizzlegig is right. The thing about the series is that you end up realizing men and women can't exist without both of them working like in concert. So I love that you like realized that about it and it kind of stuck out to you. So I was going to ask you this, and I think we know the answer. Are you planning on reading the books now?
In an ideal world, yeah. But in my world, it probably won't happen.
Fair.
Unless maybe I get on an audiobook kick and
Uh, I mean, I would highly recommend the audiobooks. If you have any kind of a commute, that's how you get through them. So, but I don't know if you know this, but there are 14 books plus a prequel, and they're long.
a lot. Probably not going to happen. Watch the show.
Yeah, so just watch the show, and that's what it's there for.
Cool.
So, all right, let's see. I've got so was there a moment that hooked you on the series in the first like few episodes? I know the first 3 dropped all at once, so I don't know if you watched them all at once.
Oh my gosh. I binged in very weird ways. I watched the first episode by itself and then like paused for a little bit because holidays happened. And then I watched like 3 and then paused for a little bit and then I watched all the rest of them. So I don't really know where the episode borders lie anymore, but
fair enough.
Something that stands out to me that I feel like was extremely intriguing was the scene at the end of maybe the 3rd episode, I don't know what it was, where all the group got separated into their pairs. And then Lan was trying to tend to Moiraine, who was passed out, and Nynaeve came up and like put a knife up to him and was like, I'm going to kill you if you don't take me to my friends. And it's like, he doesn't know where they're at. So I thought that was just extremely exciting, and I wanted to know what happened next.
And the fact that she was alive, right? Because you presumably thought she was dead.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm always one to like look into things. So whenever she got drug away and I did see her get like knifed, I was like, so I wasn't shocked that she came back, but I was excited.
Yeah. She seemed to be a main character. So, I mean, if we're used to Game of Thrones, it's like, oh, well, she's dead. But it's Wheel of Time. It's not Game of Thrones. And we got her back. So that was pretty fun. Yeah. So like that was kind of the end of episode 2 and the beginning of episode 3 when they had that, like, where are they? I'm going to kill you. And then she tried to stab him. So I love that. Let's see. So that was the first few episodes. Let's talk the whole season. Hit me with some of your favorite moments, the ones that stood out to you that made you keep going, or maybe if it was toward the end solidified like, heck yeah, I'm gonna watch season 2.
Man, I feel like the scene where Nynaeve channeled when Lan was about to die was like,
yes, that's amazing.
My mind was blown. It was amazing, and it was like that just basically was her professing her love, and then the fact that she could channel like that and she healed all these important people all at once. It was just really exciting and really cool to see. So that was a big one.
Did you suspect that she could channel before that?
I don't think necessarily. I don't think she was necessarily on my radar because they had said she was too old. So I was like, she's just a fun character to have around. She's wisdom, and so she's going to listen to win for them. But I didn't think she was like that.
Okay, that's interesting because I feel like some people who read the books were like, oh, well, everyone's going to put together that because she can listen to the wind and Egwene can listen to the wind and Moiraine told Egwene she could channel, then they're going to assume that Nynaeve can channel. So I like that it didn't necessarily connect for you. So I'm sure that moment in episode 4 was like extra exciting. Like, what?
It was.
What? Yeah, I love that. Oh, okay, so Fizzlegig in the Twitch chat is asking, Super Saiyan Nynaeve is one of the best scenes. Do you understand that reference?
Say it again?
Super Saiyan. Do you know what that is from? Okay.
No.
Well, to be fair, I also haven't watched Dragon Ball Z. I just know it because it's so prevalent, but it's from Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
So, oh no, somebody's saying the YouTube is buffering. Is anybody else experiencing that, or are we okay? Let me see.
And so she's going to listen to win for them, but I didn't.
Oh, whoops. I just turned on my YouTube and it was working, so hopefully it's still working. Fingers crossed. Okay, let me pull up my questions. I don't want to lose track of what I'm asking here. Okay, so the Nynaeve moment, was there any other big moments that you really liked?
I mean, I was a little bit mind blown when Moiraine did a little sneak into the Amelin Seep's room. I was not expecting that at all. I think it was whenever Lan was like, Hello, said hi. I was just like, what?
Who?
Next.
Who
Like,
are
what are
we
you talking
talking
about?
about?
And then I was like, oh, wait, is that her? Because she's not in her big gown. Like, is that the same person? And then it definitely intriguing for sure. Did not expect it.
Nice.
Huh.
I love that scene. It was okay. So Physical Gig said it was buffering for a minute, but it sounds like we're back, hopefully. So I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Twitch is buffering a little. We're all good. A few refreshes fixed it. It's okay now. Thank you guys for keeping me posted. Awesome. All right, so in case you missed it, the two standout scenes were Nynaeve Super Saiyan and Moiraine sneaking into the place with Swan because it was completely unexpected. Um, so yeah, that was that. There was a hint that was gonna come in one of the books, but it was never like explicit. And so like some book readers were like, we'd like to see more representation of the LGBTQ community at some point, and then we've got like the Warders and Aes Sedai sort of like relationships in episode 4, and then we got that in episode 6, and it was like nice, like it's happening. Like you love that. Okay, actually I have a good question that I didn't think about, but Sand Dan Glockda's Teeth, that's quite the name, in YouTube is asking if you had a favorite cold open. Now, cold opens are like the beginning scenes, like if you'll remember, so I can describe them to you. The first one was Leandrin taking down that male channeler and being like, whenever you touch it, it's filthy, if you remember that.
Yeah.
The second one is the White Cloaks burning the Aes Sedai at the stake. The third one is... What is the third one? That's Nynaeve's killing the Trolloc in that pool.
Oh, yeah.
The fourth one is Logain channeling in Galdon. The like crazy like corruption puppets whispering in his ear and him convincing the king that he could join him. The fifth one is the funeral, the Aes Sedai funeral. The sixth one is the Swan's childhood, like the little girl channeling and getting, like going to the tower because people burned down her house. The seventh one is that Aiel fighting in the snow scene. And the eighth one is the Age of Legends where the old dragon is talking to that lady in the nursery. So which one was your favorite?
I'd have to say the snow scene, the snow fighting scene. Oh my gosh, that was like super intense. And I was like, what in the world is happening? This woman is a freaking beast. That was awesome.
Beast! So
like, how in
awesome.
the world are you doing this?
Okay, well that was the right answer, so we can keep talking. I love, and you said the episodes all blur together, so I'm not gonna ask you what your favorite episode is, I don't think, but that was my favorite episode, and that cold open was like just like such an integral part of that decision. I could not believe what I was seeing. But so, did you pick up on the existence of the Aiel in the show? Like she was an Aiel, and there was the guy that was in the cage in episode 3 that Matt and Tom buried. That was also an Aiel. Do you have any? You didn't. Okay, so
I didn't.
No, that's totally fine. But that just so you know, that cold open with the lady who was amazing, running around with spears while pregnant. She was what's called an Aiel, and that was just one, and there's a lot of them. So I can't wait to see them in later episodes.
I'm excited.
And Cygnus Rising actually has a good point. She's not even the best trained of them, so it's crazy. So yeah, all right. So sorry, I kind of got off track here, but those are the moments that stood out to you. So speaking of the moments that stood out, you've got Moiraine. You like the relationship between Moiraine and Lan. You like Nynaeve going Super Saiyan. So who was your favorite character throughout the whole thing?
I feel like I have to go with Moiraine.
Yeah?
She is awesome. Like she's so badass and mysterious and somehow seemingly selfless, but also I'm sure she's going after her own best interest in the way of pursuing her cause as a blue wood. But the fact that she's just like doing everything she can to protect these potential dragons and nobody really knows what she's doing or thinking, and you just kind of see what happens. So she's extremely intriguing to me.
I love that. I feel like, did you recognize that actress, Rosamund Pike? Had you seen her in anything?
I feel like she seemed familiar, but I wouldn't be able to say what I saw her in.
Have you seen Pride and Prejudice?
Yeah.
Okay, well, she's the pretty sister.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, so that was obviously a while ago. She was also in Gone Girl and I Care a Lot, which is a recent, I think, Netflix show.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think Nynaeve and Moraine and well, I feel like Cygnus Rising is saying Nynaeve and Moraine were by far the most developed, but I agree about Moraine because we got like her interpersonal relationships, her relationship with Lan, everybody, like how she's interacting with all the other women in the tower, plus the potential dragons. Like she's in a lot of scenes,
Mhm.
and she kills all of them. She's so good. Like I think, I actually haven't decided who my favorite character is in the show. My favorite book character is Egwene, but my favorite show character is I don't know. It's probably Moraine too, because she's so
Yeah.
good. But like, there's so many like people who show up and then leave. Like somebody who made a huge impact on me, but they were only in one episode was Swan. Like, I think
Mhm.
she was incredible in the brief time that we got to see her. I also think that Lan was just amazing this season.
Yeah.
Like he blew me away. Daniel
Yeah.
Henney, the actor, just blew me away. Like with what he could do. So I don't know if I
Mhm.
could really pick.
It was, yeah, a tough call. I feel like Liam was super interesting. All of them were. It was,
Yeah. Like in Dana, she was a fun little surprise, the dark friend in episode 3. Like I think she was like really charismatic. I liked her a lot.
Mhm.
Tom, loved him in episode 3 and 4. Yeah, I don't know. There were so many good characters. And all the potential dragons. They did like really great too. I don't know. And
Yeah.
Matt was extra funny, which I really enjoyed. His humor.
Mhm.
So anyway, okay, yeah. So that was your favorite character, Moraine. We got a lot of villains in this show. Like we had the White Cloaks, we had the Red Ajah with Leandrin at the head. We had the Dark One in episode 8. Um, and I'm trying to think if there's any others. Oh, and we had like the Murdral and the Trollocs. We can consider them sort of their own thing because they were always together. Who was your favorite villain?
Man, that's tough. It's hard to pick a favorite villain because you want to hate them. I mean, I was thinking, like, when you first mentioned it before you listed all of them, I was like, maybe this is an unpopular opinion to even consider him a villain, but like, I feel like it kind of spun Matt as a villain. Like, as the season progressed, he had these dark qualities to him,
Mm-hmm.
and it seemed like they were trying to spin him to be a villain, which I really loved his personality and how lighthearted and funny he was in the first several episodes. So I didn't consider him that. But as the season progressed, I was like, maybe they're trying to make him one. And so, in a way, I was rooting for him to turn light instead of that darker side that we saw of him. But with the ones that you listed,
I also forgot
I'm,
one, Padan Fane, also a villain. So add him to the list. Padan Fane's the one that took the box at the end of episode 8. He's the one. Yeah.
oh, I think him. He was intriguing. I couldn't figure him out. I
Okay.
mean, and like, I feel like he popped up in places very, very subtly. Like
So you
in
caught you
the,
caught his little appearances.
yeah, like whenever they were parading the dragon down the road, he just like was sitting there and snuck away. He was there for like 2 seconds on the screen, and I was like, did I, the guy that was that's the two years? Like, I doubted myself, but I was intrigued by that. So maybe him.
Okay, so them playing Matt up as a bit of a darker character, it came across to you. Did you think there was a chance that he killed that family?
Yeah, I
Really?
thought there was a chance. Yeah, and didn't want to believe it, but that's what I thought until like I don't know, 5 minutes later in that episode, I was like, maybe that creepy looking thing. Like it could have been him. And then whenever Matt was like, "Do you think I killed him?" Okay, so I mean, there was an out, but
Yeah.
no, he just with that dagger in his hand just had me worried that he did.
I was also
And I know.
the
Yeah.
first the first time I saw it, I was really worried, but of course I've watched it multiple times and there was no blood on the dagger. So rest assured that it was not him. Like as far as all the context clues are saying that it was not him. So yeah, everyone in the chat's like, it wasn't him, don't do it. So I think the general consensus is like Matt could sense the fade, the like creepy thing up in the rafters, because like he did have an evil about him because of the dagger, and so it was kind of like some kind of spidey sense that he got, and then he like walked in there and the fade had already done the damage, unfortunately. Okay, so
Yeah.
we like we like Patton Vane. We like
Right.
him as a villain. He's a good villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
that
think
should
so.
be fun for season 2 then, because it seems like we're probably gonna get some. He took a box. Everyone, he
Right.
took the
Need to know what
horn.
happens to Miles.
We gotta get the box back. Um, all right, so let's see. What do you think is going on with Perrin? I feel like a lot of book readers think that Perrin was the most underdeveloped character in the show. Is
Yeah.
that how that came across to you, or do you think you've got him kind of figured out?
I mean, I feel like, he obviously has a lot going on with the first episode. Like, I feel like that was almost like a hard stop for me, to be honest. I was like, whoa, that's too much. Like, can I do this? Can I watch the
Oh,
show? It was just intense. I didn't like that at all. But I mean, it's been interesting to see how his character has developed since then. And with the whole wolf thing, I feel like he is the Wheel of Time's version of a werewolf. Like, I feel
okay.
like he's a straight up werewolf.
Like he's gonna turn into a wolf?
I feel like, he's like a wolf leader. I don't know if he's gonna physically like follow the moon, but like his eyes are sure trying to do that. So I feel like he could like morph. Maybe he's gonna maybe they have morphers. I don't know if this is a thing, but like maybe he will be able to at will turn into a wolf if he wants to. I don't know. I really don't. I'm not sure, but obviously there's significance with the wolves, and I'm intrigued to see how that works. But he knows they're not going to hurt him, so he's got that connection.
Yeah, okay, so he's related to a leader of the wolves, and that's where we're leaving this season. Possible werewolf category.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair enough. Um, which one was Perrin again? Says Sand Dan glocked his teeth in the chat. Yeah, Perrin didn't get. Perrin got a lot of. Well, like the big thing happened to Perrin in episode 1, the like emotional thing, and then from then on he was just like really sad until episode 5, whenever him and Egwene broke out. He finally confessed, and then he was hurt, and then he was torn whenever he was torn when they were with the Tinkers. So it's kind of just poor Perrin, basically. Hopefully he gets some more action, some more fun stuff, maybe some more wolf stuff in season 2. That's what I'm hoping for. Um, so, all right. So at the end of the last episode, presumably the most recent episode that you watched, something's going on with Moiraine,
Yeah.
right? What do you think is happening?
I just with how they had been talking about whoever gets between the one power and the dragon is going to die. Like, I feel like she was there. Like, she was between the two, or, physically maybe behind him, still, like, there. So I feel like it was almost like she was stripped of her ability to channel. And that was, like, in a way, her dying. Like, that is, like, her essence, is to be able to do that. And so I feel like that was her version of death, because she had already been exiled from her sisters. So
So
she
she's
almost
just
had like died in a way,
wow.
but
That's
not physically.
so like a philosophical death. And thank you,
Yeah.
Jay Diggity, in the chat with $5 in super chat. Love the enthusiasm. This is fun. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. So do you think it's gone forever, or do you think there's going to be a way for her to get it back?
I feel like surely there's a way for her to get back, because she's like such a main character.
Yeah.
I have faith it'll come back.
Okay. So maybe season 2 will be her quest for
Yeah.
redemption,
Right.
to get her life back. I actually hadn't heard anybody say that. Everyone's always like, "Oh, Moiraine was just spitballing that whoever went down to the Eye of the World with the dragon was actually going to die." But like that's so true, that like being tied away from the one power is a fate worse than death for channelers generally. You saw that with Logain. So I like that little interpretation. That's a new one. Good eye there. Okay, so people have asked this before, and I was I was waiting because this was something I wanted to ask later. But did you have a guess as to who the dragon was throughout the season? Did you have multiple guesses? How did it change
Yes.
as time went? And were you surprised at the end?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like I changed every time I watched, and like within watching. I feel like I started thinking it was going to be Egwene,
Mm-hmm.
because she was extremely intriguing at the beginning, and then I kind of was like, well, that's almost too obvious. And so then I switched to Matt because I was like, well, he's the underdog. Maybe it's going to be him because nobody's going to suspect him. Like, that'd be a good plot twist. And then after he started getting a little, somber, I flipped to Rand. And I was like, well, I think you were telling me that the books were written from his perspective. And I was like, well, if they're written from his perspective, he's really important. So he's probably a dragon.
It wasn't
why
me.
would they have the books?
It wasn't me. Oh, wait, no. I was going to say, this is silly, but recently, Meg and I went to Taco Bell together. And while we were at Taco Bell, some people that were left behind spoiled the Wheel of Time for the other people in the room. But I forgot that you weren't there. I was going to be like, it definitely wasn't me. It was them. But you were with me at Taco Bell while that happened. So maybe it was me. And now I feel bad.
Well, it may not have been you. Like, I don't remember. I know I've talked about this with a lot of different people. So I heard it somewhere.
Okay.
Thought,
fair enough. All right. So
it's all over the place.
So was Rand did you think it was Rand when the Rand reveal came through?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Because I feel like I don't know if this was part of the Rand reveal, but whenever the dream came in and it was like, you're the dragon. I guess that was the reveal, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe not. I don't know. I don't even know anymore because I was all over the place. But I feel like I kind of landed on it.
So you never thought it was Perrin or Nynaeve?
I did. No, I never did. I guess I got convinced whenever they're like, she's too old for Nynaeve, that I was like, oh, checked out. Okay. And then Perrin, I felt like he had a lot of underdog stuff going on. So I was like, yeah, he's got it.
He does. He's got the wolf stuff.
Yeah.
I actually really like this comment. I would shit myself if I walked into Taco Bell and someone was talking about the Wheel of Time. They would become my new best friend, says Fizzlegig in the chat. Oh, wow. And then in response, this is Hybrid Havoc asks, would you be shitting yourself because of Taco Bell or because of the Wheel of Time? I'm sorry. I just had to. That's a very important question. Okay, so I love that. Good job. Good question. All right, so you were all over the place, but it was never Perrin and it was never Nynaeve for you. All right, so do you have any favorite? I spoiled the Dragon Reborn. We're doing full show spoilers. Oh, you mean before? No, she's making that up. Also, a lot of our family, so that I spoiled who the Dragon Reborn was for you. There's no way I did that.
No, you were big on non-spoiling.
Thank you. So my cousins have read it, and we recently saw them at a wedding. My husband has read it, and he is not good about spoilers. So I promise it wasn't me. It wasn't her. Oh, okay, here we go. Before we get to the, I'm going to pull Random Noman asks, do you have an opinion on Loial? Do we like him? Do we not like him? He's the guy that Rand initially thought was a Trolloc, who's got the curly blonde hair, the really big dude.
Yeah, the ogre.
Ogier.
I love him. Ogier. I love him. Yeah. He was so precious and so sweet and just so helpful, and he just wanted to make his everything, enjoy life. And I think we all need to learn something from him. Take it slow, everybody.
You know what?
I like him a lot.
Quote of the stream: we all need to learn something from Loial. Take it slow. Mm-hmm. We're all just a little too hasty. And every time, that's a thing in the books where he's like, humans are so hasty. And it reminds me of the Ents, kind of. How, you get that? Yeah. The vibe is there.
Perfect. And even the voicing sounded similar, too.
It did, yeah. And actually, that's how the audiobooks are. The Michael Kramer is a narrator that I really enjoy. And whenever he's doing any of the Ogier, he drops his voice really low. I can't even. It's fun. It's fun. So we love Loial. And it looks like Loial's Library, $4.99 in Super Chat. Thank you so much. Loial's Library says Loial, and yes, we love Loial. Thank you for that. We really appreciate it. Yeah, the Ents, they are the Ents of Wheel of Time, says Fizzlegig. Anything worth saying is worth taking a long time. That's so true. Uh-huh. It's so true. We love them. So DK Boone says, poor Loial, peeps call him ogre. Yeah, how dare you? No, it's okay. It's fine.
He said it. It wasn't me.
It was Rand, actually. Rand was like, you're an ogre. And immediately Loial's like, Ogier. So, yeah.
So did he actually die?
No, he didn't
Oh,
die. He
okay,
didn't
good.
die.
I think he did, and I wrote it correctly.
He did not die.
Okay,
He's okay.
thanks.
The showrunner said that he was trying to get us used to main characters dying, and the fact that he
Ugh.
did it on Loial, but it's okay because he already said that he's not dead. So, um, all right, let's yeah, it's been confirmed that he did not die. Thank the light, as they say. Um, all right, so I was gonna ask, what did you have any favorite locations in the show?
I feel like I really liked the location they were at whenever they were holding the captive.
When they were
The
holding
wooded,
the drag. Oh, okay, the false dragon.
yeah, the false dragon. Yeah, whenever like that wooded area where they had all the tents and it was like rolling hills and then the cave that they were keeping him in. I thought it was a really cool place. And I
Yeah,
just love to see the camp and how everybody interacted there.
that's
And
totally
just
fair.
basically anytime they were like traveling across the plains, you could see all the mountains.
Oh God, the
Anything of
mountains.
Wolverine. It
The
was
mountains.
beautiful.
Like, I don't know. I think those are in Prague or near Prague. They like a lot of their shooting locations are in Prague, so I just assume that's what's happening, but I don't actually know. I tell you, I think my favorite location, other than well, I loved everything in the White Tower. I feel like the architecture was beautiful, like like all the inside scenes and like Moiraine in that tea shop looking across the courtyard, seeing waiting for Nynaeve to leave, like all that was beautiful. But if I had to live somewhere in the Wheel of Time, I think I would live in the Two Rivers because like it's this little
Beautiful.
town, mountains
Hmm.
everywhere. Like I am Rand in that sense where I just want to go back. I just want to go back
Yeah.
home and live there and have my wool sweaters. Like that would be so great. Um so yeah, that's probably my favorite location.
Yeah, I
Um
love that too.
okay, so are you hoping for anything specific in season 2?
I'm hoping for a lot. I feel
Okay,
like,
let's go. What is it?
uh, well, first of all, I feel like I want more development of all the characters. Like, I want more backstory on how they got to where they are now.
Okay.
And, um, yeah, I just feel like getting those little insights here and there is really exciting and fun. So I just feel like knowing more about their beginnings and their families and, why they are the way they are, I feel like would be exciting and helpful for a non-reader to kind of know where people are coming from and help with character development.
Yeah.
Um, I want Rain to get her character, which I assume is going to happen.
You broke up there a little bit. You want Moraine to what?
Get her powers back or her ability to channel back.
Yeah.
Um, I want to figure out what's happening with Perrin and the dogs. I want to see that like progress and see it form more because I'm intrigued by it. Because I
Okay.
love wolves. Like I've always loved wolves, and you know that growing
I
up, those
know,
are my
yeah.
favorite animals.
You're
So I'm
you're
just like,
you're a
yeah,
wolf girl. The, like, with
I am.
the you actually didn't you have a wolf t-shirt at one point?
I think
Yeah.
I still do. I probably still have that t-shirt somewhere.
Okay.
I love them. What else? What else? What else? I want both Matt and Rand to reunite with friends.
To reunite with what?
They're friends, which
Oh,
are Two Rivers folk. They're
yeah.
like, I don't know. I want Matt to come back to the light, or the good side.
Me too. Me too.
I don't know. I just have a lot of hope. I feel like
No, that's a
a lot
good
of stuff to
thing.
cram into a second season.
That is a good thing. So, well, we've got some questions in the chat that I think are interesting. Did you get the importance of the warder bond in that episode with Steppen? Like, did it connect that like the reason he did what he did was because of the bond and like how
Yeah.
devastating? Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I could feel that. I feel like they portrayed that super well of how like I feel like they did such a good job of immediately whenever she like got killed, they flashed to him and it was like he just he almost like died on the inside. Like you could tell his entire facial expression and just demeanor was completely changed in the middle of the battle. So I feel like they did a great job of that.
Yeah,
I can sense that.
I agree. I think that was okay. So a couple more chat questions. Random Noman asked, do you get the whole like future slash past nature of like the ages and the Wheel of Time? Like for example, in the first episode they talked about you know, lighting the lanterns for Beltane so that they're, you know, like Rand's mom would find her way back to them sooner rather than later. Like, has the concept of the like time and life being circular sort of like hit home with you yet?
I feel like I'm in between on that. Like I didn't catch the lantern thing as much, but I did catch like the dragon reborn, like and the
Yeah.
wheel is spitting him out, like that I think they made clear.
Yeah.
But I guess I haven't thought, I mean, and the way at least those people were saying, when my daughter comes back, like
Oh yeah.
we'll be able to enjoy each other. So I feel like they did mention it multiple times, so I caught it on some occasions, probably not others.
Yeah. Did you like the Tinkers, the Way of the Leaf
I
people?
did.
Yeah.
I liked them a lot. I feel like they're great peacekeepers, and they're just like violence no matter what. And the fact that what's the names, Egwene and Karen, whenever the white people
White
came,
Cloaks, yeah.
white clothes. Sorry. The fact that they were just like, okay, beat us, like we're just gonna keep linking arms and standing here, not being violent. Like I don't know, that was something powerful.
That was really powerful. I had forgotten about that. We just did like a whole season 1 review last night. We didn't mention that, but that also happened in episode 4, which was my second favorite episode. So I think it goes to show, it was a really strong episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so we like the Tinkers. Did they sell you on the Way of the Leaf, or are you not going to be a vegetarian anytime soon?
I'm not going to be a vegetarian anytime soon, but I could appreciate their thoughts on it.
Okay, their passion. We like their passion.
Yes, yes.
DK Moon in the chat on YouTube says, did you think those strange boat people at the end looked sinister?
I was baffled by that. Like,
Okay.
yes, because they're sending a giant wave at a child.
Okay.
So I feel like that's pretty sinister.
Immediately evil.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'd have to swing that way if I had to pick right now.
Okay. Yeah, that feels like a fair assumption. I guess it's kind of like intimidating, right? Because we've seen the Aes Sedai, and like they're the ones who can channel here. And then did it like surprise you? Like, these people didn't look like Aes Sedai, and they were channeling. Like, was that something that piqued your interest? Like,
Yeah, it did.
yeah,
Like I said, I was pretty baffled by it. I didn't know even how to go about thinking about what could that be. I was just like, oh wow, that's a lot.
people.
Yeah.
New
Whoa.
people. Holy, yeah. That one, I guess, for book readers was like, oh, like, I know these people. Like, immediately we were like, this is these guys. Like, we know who they are. We know what's going to happen with them. It makes sense that they're coming here because they play a role in the second book. I did wonder, like, for someone who has no context, they're just going to see people kill. I guess they had to make them do that tidal wave to kill the little girl. Otherwise, we would literally have no concept of, like, non-book readers would be like, who, like, why am I seeing these these people?
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh my gosh, there's more in the chat. Let's do the. So okay, here we go. Stan Dan Glokta's teeth. Is there anyone you want to come back? Like people like that were in this season that could come back next season that you're not sure they will. So like Tom.
Yes,
Valda.
Tom was the first thing I thought of.
Really? Okay. With,
yes,
like,
I was like, I want to see what happened to Tom because we don't know that he died, and he was intriguing. Like, see Tom again, person.
I loved Tom. I feel like he was like the on the road father figure, especially for Matt, because he doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, his dad's kind of trash in this. So yeah, I thought he was really sweet. He was a really great character. Did you like his guitar performance? Was that catchy?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so good. Yeah. Very good.
So how would you have thought, because he in the books has a flute and a harp, not a guitar. So if he was, would that have sort of changed your perception of him in any way if it was those instead of the guitar? Like, yeah.
Maybe a little bit. I feel like, I don't know, the flute and you said harp?
Harp, yeah, like harp.
Flute and harp. Like, I feel like those are a lot more sounding instruments, and so
they're what sounding? Sorry.
Like more feminine sounding, like they're.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how that's a really terrible interpretation, but I feel like the guitar is like, then you can turn it into whatever you want. Whereas like you can't make it sound rough. Like, I feel like even if you tried, like it's just this beautiful, like I don't know, and that makes me kind of wonder, like, well, like, should that have a reason in the book and a purpose? Like,
I
some
think
sort of connection it's supposed to make. I don't know.
for me, it was to me it feels more like old-fashioned fantasy, whereas the guitar
Yeah,
kind of like modernizes. And you're right, I guess like it is hard to make a harp sound like earthy. And he's in like a
yeah,
mining town, so like can you picture him
yeah.
like strumming on this harp or like playing a flute or whatever in this, with these like angry men with beer tank, like, so maybe not, like that does make sense. It's a little like earthier. We
Yeah.
got another. Let's see, hold on. I just got the little beep in the chat and I missed it. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? I'm losing it. Oh, we got a subscription. So thank you for the sub, Fabio Luca. We appreciate you being here. Um, but okay, so let's see. We're coming up. Like I said, this was gonna be an hour stream. I don't want to keep her long. We've got 8 minutes left. So does anybody have any questions for Meg before we sign off? Just asking, because now's your chance. Showtime was great. Totally agreed. I some people would be disappointed to hear that the harp is feminine. I think what she meant was the more like gruff. It's more like the guitar is more, earthy is the only word that I can think of, though I
Yeah,
know
I
it's
know.
not.
I was like, I know it's not the greatest way to describe it, but like a harp is like, yeah, I don't know. I guess with the scenery in that mine town and in his like garb, it was just more like earthy, I guess, like you're saying. Like it's more, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
It's
But
tough.
yeah, it would have been different to see him with a. I mean, a flute I can kind of see. Like I feel like it's like a kind of like paper kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like I could maybe see that a little more, but then he can't sing, and I like him to sing. But then I was like, well, I'd want him to have the harp so he'd sing, but like I can't picture that in the setting that they had him in.
Okay. So we got a question in the chat. Let's see. At the end, so people are asking what you thought at the end. Do you think the Dark One was defeated? And were you confused about what was happening?
Um, I don't think he was actually really fully defeated, because then there'd probably only be one. Um, but
Wow.
I,
Can't believe that. Like, wow. All right. Yeah, that's a fair
but
assessment.
and I wouldn't say I was like confused as to what was happening. I mean, I have theories of they keep alluding to like, I mean, Loial, like, turning over and the dragon being reborn and all this stuff, and how there were these five, spirits. And I mean, this is a non-reader's theory, but I feel like they're all gonna have to play a part in killing the one. Was it the one spirit? I mean,
The Dark
who's
One.
the bad guy? The dark one. I'm sorry. um, Killing the dark one. Like I feel like they're like Rand did his job. His killing, but I feel like all the rest of them are gonna have played a part to make it finalized. Like I don't think it was finalized.
Okay. I like that. So you're saying that, all right, it's kind of about them all then, huh?
Mhm. I feel like their dragon was reborn into five people this time,
Oh, okay. So
making it complicated.
you're not sold on Rand being the dragon.
Yeah, I feel like he was a fifth of the dragon.
A fifth of the
Or maybe
dragon.
like I don't know. But
Okay.
I feel like they all are gonna play a part.
I think you might be onto something. Um, okay, so Julie Schultz is asking, favorite couple. Like we're talking, we know you like Land and Moiraine, but they are not a
Yeah.
romantic couple. So who's your favorite couple? We've got, to refresh your memory, Rand and Egwene, Lan and Nynaeve. Well, I guess you did say Lan and Moiraine and Swan. Lan and Moiraine is not a romantic, so Julie, if you missed it at the beginning, she said that she really liked the relationship between Lan and Moiraine. That was like the standout relationship for her. So I'm gonna remove that as an option and ask, like, romance-wise, what was your favorite relationship?
Probably. That's tough. I feel like I'm kind of torn between Egwene and Rand, and then Lan and Nynaeve, but I'm probably gonna have to go with Lan and Nynaeve because
Yeah,
of how I don't want to say awkward. It's not awkward, but how they're like very subtly pursuing each other, but then it's not so subtle.
not so subtle.
I don't know. Yeah.
I do love Lan and Nynaeve. They're so good. I was a big fan of Rand and Egwene in this season, though, too. We got a comment, Redbeard on Twitch. I love hearing theories from people who have not read the books. So, we're happy to have you. This is exciting. Okay, so Hybrid Havoc, in a related note, asks, favorite couple that you'd like to see, but isn't in the show right now? Like, do you have a ship that's a non-established ship just yet?
Like characters I've seen that I think could become couples.
Yeah, like that you want to see. Like if not, no big deal.
I mean, I guess I don't have an exact like couple in mind, but I feel like I want Perrin to find someone. I just don't know who. Because I'm sad for him.
Yeah, I think we're all sad for him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Somebody asked like Leandrin and Matt as a couple. God, that's like literally the least likely thing to ever happen. Although, maybe it'll happen. I don't want to spoil anything. Maybe it will happen. Let's see. So, oh, hey, Wheel Up Time. You're doing another playthrough. That's awesome. Okay, well, you know what? I think I don't see any more questions in the chat. If I missed them, I really apologize. Oh, one more. Anything we can clear up? Did you have any confusion?
I feel like as I was watching, I did. I'm glad that I know that Gear is still alive.
And
I guess
Loial.
I didn't. Yeah, Loial. I was intrigued. I feel like there was just a brief mention of the Red sister.
Leandrin.
New man friend? Question mark. Moiraine said something like, "I can talk about this guy." Like, maybe that's all we get, but I was wanting more information on that.
Okay, yeah, that was a little teaser there. Kind of
little
dangled
sprinkle.
like what we thought Leandrin hated men. What's up? Okay, so we'll see what goes on there. And then I guess one last question that I just noticed. Johnny Rotten asks, what did you think about the Age of Legends? That was the cold open from the last episode. Like the weird outfits, the flying cars, the like super futuristic looking city that they looked out on.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't really know what to make of that, I guess. Like,
okay.
I was a little confused. That's something I need clarified. I feel like I watched it all in a big sitting, and so I've forgotten about that.
And you were like, wow, moving on.
Yeah, just like, I don't know what's happening, but it's cool, thanks.
Okay, so I guess I can clear it up for you since it was in the show. It's not a spoiler, but the woman there called the man there the Dragon Reborn. So like that is, you can infer the dragon's last self or one of the dragon's past selves. And it was during the Age of Legends, which is described as this like super modern, like highly advanced, society. And clearly something happened between that and this because we no longer have flying cars. You know what I mean? And if you noticed, you probably didn't, but the very beginning of the first episode, there were these like overgrown looking tower pillar things, and you can match those up with the skyscrapers from the Age of Legends. So it's like, hints of it being like a post-apocalyptic, that's
And now that you mentioned that, now I remember, because I remember now being confused at that scene, and my husband was actually the one that was like, yeah, but they said like the dragon is going to set them back like years and years and years. Like there was a comment on there, so he caught that. And now I do remember that. Like it was all futuristic, and then the Dragon Reborn ruined something, and then they were set back.
Okay.
Many years.
So you picked up on it a little bit. So there's something that happens in the first book, the very first thing that happens in the first book that some people were expecting to happen. It's like it's the prologue. It happens during the Age of Legends, and when this showed up, I was like, is it going to happen? And it didn't. And so I'm curious because that will essentially show you what ends up happening after that conversation. So I hope we get it because it would be a cool thing to see. Let's see. Okay, so that I think that's what we're I think that's it. So I don't want to keep you longer than our designated hour. I want to thank you so much for coming on.
You're
This
welcome. Thanks
this
for having me.
this was a lot of fun. I love hearing about people who have not read the books and have absolutely no context in what they think. Like, because obviously I know, I don't want to say I know everything, but but I know a lot about the Wheel of Time, and so everything I see on the show I can immediately contextualize, and so it's like such an asset having people who know nothing. So so I appreciate you coming on. This is your first live stream, right?
It is. I've never been on a live stream before.
Well, I think you nailed it. Everyone in the chat, could you like give us a little adulation here? Like we can be excited. Let's see. Zeus Sedai is actually a member on YouTube, so I want to point out they did make a comment. Even book readers are probably confused about a few things right now. That's true. Some things have been confusing. So okay, Megan, you've got claps, you've got woo excitement. Everyone's happy that you're here, including me.
Thank you.
So
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So I'm going to give a shout out to my patrons right now before we sign off, because you guys are the greatest. You guys are the goats. We've got Tanja AEltringham, Beth Weston, Sherbet Mango, Judy Sonnenberh, Nathan Miller, Brookelm, Iris Silverman, Myst Bourne, Trevor Fast, Ryan Finesilver, Hannah Sedai, Rob Thomas, Brian Bonnell, Rachel Sedai, Sara Caplan, and Rose Kraftick. Thank you so much for supporting me. If you want to support me, I've got links to my Patreon or my YouTube membership, or you can sub on Twitch. So, you know, no pressure at all. And thank you for the donos today in chat. And, oh, you guys are so nice. So thank you all. This is awesome. Thanks again, Meg. This was amazing.
Yes.
Yay.
You're welcome.